Shirley and welcome to a new video. So today I have my end of year book haul for you guys and I'm so excited. I have so many incredible books to talk about today. I have some ARCs, some special editions, some books I've very kindly been gifted and some that I did decide to treat myself to. So we have so many to get through. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good books to add to your wish list of this year, this Christmas, going into the new year. Just go and grab yourselves a hot drink and get a cozy blanket. Get ready to watch this video. Hopefully you enjoy it and let's just get straight into the book haul. Now, because I don't want this to be super long, I have tried to organize these books into kind of piles of specific things. So the first stack I'm going to go through is all the books I have bought myself recently. The first thing I have is this book here, which I haven't actually opened yet, so we're going to open it together, which is exciting. So this is the first ever thing I've ordered from the Broken Binding. So I think they're like a smallish business. I think they're still relatively new and they do like special editions of books. I don't know if they do like a monthly subscription as well, but I saw this and I haven't even read this book yet, but I feel like when I do finally read it, I am going to love it. And when I saw this edition, I just didn't want to pass it up because if I do end up loving this book, I would really be annoyed at myself for not purchasing this one. So I decided to buy it and yeah, it finally came. So we're gonna open this first. I'm so excited. Okay, I kind of don't want to take this out of the paper yet because I want to take a photo. It comes with an art card, look. Okay, so you can already tell it is probably from this little card on the back, but it is their edition of Legends and Lattes, and look how cute this is. Okay, I need to stop recording this and go take a photo of this first because this is adorable. Like, I love it. Okay, so I took my photos, so I'm ready to open it. I'm so excited. This is such cute packaging as well. This is the little art card that we got. So this would be really cute in a little frame. So I really love that they included this with the book. So this is the edition of Legends and Lattes. So it has the like original cover, which I really liked because I thought the original cover was so cute. I love like the published like UK one that they've done as well, but this is adorable. So yeah, I like this, and then it has these sprayed edges. How freaking cool is that? With like the coffee cups and the swords. I love that. And it has a little latte down here, and then it is signed as well, and we have some more art here, which I love. But that's not all. Look under the dust jacket. Like, this is so cool. So this is what the naked book looks like. How gorgeous is this? I love it so much. The gold looks beautiful. They've done such an amazing job, and I'm definitely going to order from them again. So yeah, that was the first little book I want to show you guys and do like a little unboxing. I'm just so glad that I bought this. I was going to be reading this month, but I don't think I'm going to have time to get to it before the year ends. So this is going to be on my 23 books for 2023 list, and I'm probably going to pick up quite soon. I'm so excited and I really hope I love it because I love this edition so much. Okay, so the next book I have to show you is actually a Christmas book, but I did already film a Christmas book haul. So if you haven't already watched that, I will link up here and link it down below. But this is the book that kind of arrived after I filmed that, and I thought I'd include it in this video anyways, and I'm so excited to read this. So this book is called A Cat Cafe Christmas. This is by Cody Gary, and this is a rom-com, and it takes place in a cat cafe at Christmas, as the title would suggest. I'm so excited. I don't know anything else other than that. As soon as I found out that this book was basically a book about romance, cats and Christmas, I was instantly sold. That's like 3 of my favorite things to be in a book, and I don't think this could be any more perfect. I've heard this is super cute and cozy, and look at the cover, it's gorgeous. So yeah, I don't know much about this, but I would like to go into it that way as well and just be pleasantly surprised. I'm hoping to try and squeeze this in my TBR before the year ends, but realistically I don't know if I will get around to reading it. I may still just read this anyways, like sometime throughout the year, because I just feel like it will be a really lovely romance anyway, and obviously there's cats, so yes. But this book I'm so excited for. I'm so happy that I finally have it in my hands, and I'm obsessed with the cover. Okay, so this next book is a fantasy book, which I am very excited for. I actually think I found this on someone I follow on Bookstagram, and it just sounded really good. I think there's another book. I don't know if it's saying as a duology or there's going to be more books, but I believe there is a follow-up to it already. So this I think is indie published as well, and I did get this through Waterstones, but I think it's like a self-published edition, so you can get it through Waterstones if you're in the UK, or I think Barnes & Noble and Amazon stock this. So this is another book I actually don't know much about, but I am really in a fancy romance mood and I trust this person's like reviews, so I decided to go ahead and order this. And I love ordering indie books, especially through Waterstones where I work, because I just think it's nice for like indie books to be able to come into our store and for me to order them rather than just like the traditionally published ones. So this book is called A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows by Holly Renee, and I love this cover. Look how gorgeous it is. So I saw a review for this on Goodreads that said it's full of forbidden romance, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers, fae and vampires, and touch her and I kill you trope. So those are some of my favorite things in fantasy romance, like hands down. So I instantly wanted to read this after I saw that. So I'm very, very excited to give this a read. And like I said, I don't really know anything else about it, but it has some of my favorite tropes in. I always try to support like indie books as much as I can, and I am trying to read more fantasy romance and more self-published fantasy romance and fantasy romance that's not very known. Like I haven't really heard many people talk about this book, so I'm trying to read more because I want to be able to give you guys some fantasy romance recommendations that aren't necessarily like extremely popular or well known. And I know some of you may have seen this book around, but it's not like massively popular, I don't think. Maybe it is on BookTok, it could be, I don't know, but I haven't really had anyone on BookTube talk about it. And yeah, from that review alone, it just made me want to pick it up, and I feel like I will really like this. And it's also a very short one, so I feel like this will just be fun to read in one sitting, and I'm gonna order the second one if I really, really like this one. But very, very excited. I have no idea what it's about, but we're going to go into it and be surprised. And I think I'm going to be picking this up in my 24-hour readathon I'm going to do in January. So look out for that vlog, because I'll probably be reading this and you'll hear all of my thoughts. But fae, vampires are my favourite tropes. Say no more. I can't wait to read it. So this next book is Best Friends to Enemies to Lovers. So that sounds interesting. It's also a witchy romance as well. So that is The Charmed List by Julie Abe. I ordered this book back in like October when I was trying to get some more witchy rom-coms, and it took forever to arrive, and it finally came into the store I work at. I love the end pages too. It's so cute and the cover is beautiful. And look at the freaking naked book. Like, how gorgeous. It has a bubble tea on it, and Axio has actually got a quote on the back, and I love Axio's books and I trust her reviews, so yes, I like that that's on there. So it says here that The Charmed List by Julie Abe sweeps readers away to a secret magical world complete with cupcakes and tea with added sparks of joy and an enchanted cottage where they can dance under the stars. How freaking cute does that sound? I am so excited to read this. Honestly, I'm going to pick this up soon as well. I'm not even going to bother saving this towards more like a spooky season. I'm not sure entirely if this is witchy, but yeah, I think it does have magic in, and it's like enemies to lovers, and I'm just so excited. And I love this book cover so much. Like when you move it, it like, see, it has like that shimmer to it. I just love it so much. So yeah, very, very excited for this one. Beautiful cover again. I just think every single book I have in this whole tray, guys, has a gorgeous cover. Like, I'm going to be saying that for every single one. This next one I picked up at work recently, and this one is a kind of follow-up novella to Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, and that is Mysteries of Thorn Manor. So this one is adorable. It's so small. I did not know it was going to be a small hardback, but I love the cover. So I read Sorcery of Thorns a few years ago now. I received it in a Fairy Loot box, so whenever that book first came out is when I read it. So I honestly don't remember a lot of it, if I'm being honest. Like, I remember parts of it, but I think I may have to do a reread before I do read this, because I just feel like I don't remember enough about this world. I read Enchantment of Ravens and Sorcery of Thorns by this author, and I really did love both when I read them at the time, but I read both of them once I'd received them in a Fairy Loot box, so we are talking a few years ago now. So I definitely do plan to do a reread of both of them, and then I'm going to read this one. I'm so excited to read it because I love like novellas, and this hardback is so cute. I believe this takes place, I think, after the events of Sorcery of Thorns, and this is just such an adorable hardback. So next we have the most recent Holly Jackson, which is 5 Survive, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. So it has these super cool sprayed edges. I love these sprayed edges so much, and then this is also signed as well, which is amazing. This is my first signed Holly Jackson book. I would love to meet Holly Jackson and get her to sign my other hardbacks of the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I have only read the first book in that series, A Good Girls Guide to Murder, and I really enjoyed it. I did it as a buddy read with my friend and we did a readathon for it, and I did film a vlog reading it, so I will link that vlog up here and down below if you do want to see that and hear my thoughts on it. I absolutely adore that vlog. It's one of my favourite vlogs I've ever made. But yeah, I did really like that. I've been meaning to continue on with the series for so long, but I just have to be in the right mood for a thriller. So that's definitely a series I'm going to finish next year, and I'm hoping to pick this one up whenever I do read those. So yeah, this is another young adult thriller. It's about a group of, I think, young adults who go on a road trip, and I think their car like stops working or breaks down or something, and then they start getting picked off one by one. I think someone like kills someone with like a gun, and someone's trying to kill all of them, I think, is basically the plot. So yeah, I'm very excited because I do love a thriller, and I seem to really like YA thrillers, and I really liked Holly Jackson's other books, so I feel like I will really like this, and I just love these sprayed edges. They are so cool. Next, we have another pre-order, which is Alone With You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. So I have never read any of Olivia Blake's books. I do own the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox. I just sadly have not got around to reading them yet, but again, they are another duology that I do plan to read in the new year, hopefully. But I think I will probably pick this one up first because I just feel like this is going to suit my reading taste more so than the Atlas 6 would. I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen various quotes from it on Instagram over the last few months, and yeah, I feel like I will probably go into this not having read the synopsis, to be honest, because I feel like I want to be surprised and just go with it. It's not too long either, and I don't know, like, I've just heard it's a really kind of beautiful story in a sense. It says on the back here, Alone With You in the Ether is a contemporary love story like no other. Reagan and Aldo allow us to explore the nature of love, what it means to be unwell, and how to face the fractures of ourselves and still love as if we're not broken. I'm expecting very beautiful writing and hard-hitting writing, so hopefully that is the case. But yeah, this does have these really cool sprayed edges and this gorgeous cover as well, and yeah, I do like the design. I like the blue and the gold together as well. It's very pretty. Okay, so this next one I am so excited for. As I was saying before, I'm definitely in a fantasy romance kick, and I've seen this on several people's channels. I've seen this on Hannah's channel from Hannah's Recent Reads. I've seen it on, I can't remember the channel name, I think it's Ravenhead Reader. I think I watched their vlog on this as well, and then I've seen it on Bookstagram, and it just sounds so good. It's vampires, and I think it's enemies to lovers maybe, but it's definitely fantasy romance and vampires, and I have just heard nothing but good things about this book. Like, everyone I've seen talk about it has given it like 5 stars and just like loved it so much. And it's been a while since I had a book like that with vampires in, so this has been kind of compared to like From Blood and Ash, King of Battle and Blood. I did really like both of those books, and people have also said it's made them feel how Sarah J Maas books make them feel. So yes, I'm always looking for something to kind of give me those feelings that Sarah J Maas's books do, and apparently this author definitely does do that. So this one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and this is a self-published hardback. I think I did get this through Waterstones. It took quite a while to arrive in store, but it did eventually turn up. So again, you can go into your local Waterstones, or I think on our website, and order this, or you can get it through Amazon, or I think even the author's website too. But it has art under the dust jacket, which looks like this here, which is so cool. This definitely gave me like Night Court vibes as well, which I loved. So this hardback is beautiful, and it has these really cool chapter headers as well with like a moon and stuff. I just really like it. Like, look how cool these are. So on the back here it says, human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the nightborn vampire king Oraya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. I really like that we have a goddess of death in here. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Oraya is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Oraya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the throne of House of Night brews, shattering everything that Oraya thought she knew about her home. and Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. So yes, this sounds so good. I think it's forbidden romance and enemies to lovers and vampires and stuff. It just sounds so good. I'm so excited. And also I have ordered another book by this author, but sadly it hasn't arrived in time for me to show you it, so I will definitely show that in a upcoming reading vlog. So I've ordered Daughter of No Worlds, which is part of a series. I've ordered the most stunning hardback, but it was extremely expensive. Unfortunately, for some reason, we can't get it at Waterstones. I've managed to order the second and third book in hardback through Waterstones. Whether or not they'll turn up, I don't know. But the first book, we don't stock, which is super weird and annoying. But you can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Book Depository, and you can get it on Blackwell's. So I ordered mine through Blackwell's because that was the cheapest place to get it in the UK. It still cost me £30, which is very expensive. But I just know I'm gonna love that book and that series so much. My friend Mika has recommended it to me, and I trust her completely because we have such similar reading taste, especially when it comes to books that people say it's like a Sarah J. Maas book. So many people say that, and then it never is. It never lives up to that standard. But apparently this book does, and again, I've seen a few people here on BookTube talk about it, say how amazing it is. So I ordered the hardback. I decided to treat myself, but it did not arrive in time for this video, but I've got it on the screen here. This is what it looks like. So I did get that one. Again, don't know much about it at all. All I know, it's supposed to give Throne of Glass vibes, and I think it's about this girl who's kind of like, I don't know what it is, but she's in kind of almost like in Throne of Glass, how Selena was stuck in that kind of assassin's kind of contract to pay off her debts, that sort of thing. I think the same thing is kind of happening with the main character in this world, but I think then she wants to like train to become this like person in this society. I can't remember what the term is, but she finally is able to do that and train with this guy. He has no interest in training anyone, but he kind of gets forced to. He doesn't like her initially, but the more they get to know each other, the more they start to like each other a bit more. And I think they develop feelings for each other. I believe it's a very, very slow burn, but it has lots of action in. Yeah, it's definitely reminiscent, I think, of like the Throne of Glass books, and that's what many people have said. So I'm very, very excited to read it, and I'm definitely going to go into it not knowing much. I feel like if I know too much about the plot, I expect certain things, and if I don't get those things, I'm either disappointed or confused. So with a lot of fantasy books now, I do generally try to keep a very, very vague kind of synopsis in my head, because I just personally feel like I do enjoy the books more so when I do that. So that's why I don't know a ton about them, but I trust the people who have hyped these books up and who have also recommended them to me. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading them, and I'm already predicting 5 stars for this one and Daughter of No Worlds. I literally cannot wait to read them both. I'm going to read them, I think, in the new year in a vlog together. So if you're interested in seeing a reading vlog of me reading these books, please do let me know. But yeah, this one is of vampires and forbidden romance, so can't wait. Okay, so the next book, I'm not going to talk about what it's about. I just bought this because I needed another copy to fit a dust jacket. So we have Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This finally came back in stock in the UK in hardcover. I needed it because I needed a hardback copy for one of my dust jackets upstairs that I didn't have from when I bought myself them last Christmas. So I picked up another copy of this and just thought I'd show it in this haul because I still hold this book, even though it's nothing new. Okay, so these next books I am extremely excited about. So I already owned these books in hardback, but I had the self-published ones that were available a few months ago, and they were very, very hard to get at the time in the UK through Waterstones, but I got them. And then not long after, Waterstones announced they'd be publishing them like themselves, and they would also be signed on like special editions. So I decided, well, I'll pre-order the special editions and then I'll just exchange them when they arrive. Then things went wrong with Waterstones' ordering and stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, and lots of things have been delayed and haven't arrived for months. And then where I worked, we moved premises, so things messed up there as well. And these books just never came, and they're no longer available, and I was so sad because I pre-ordered them in store. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, whatever. So my manager tried to chase it up for me and figure out what had happened. They tried to send them out again months later, and something went wrong. So I kind of just accepted the fact that I was never going to get my hands on these books. And then randomly the other week at work, they arrived and I squealed. I was so happy, and I am really happy that I have them. I'm going to be filming a reading vlog for this series. I don't know if I'll film a vlog per book or just for the whole series. Please do let me know what you prefer to see, but I'm definitely going to be reading these in January. These are like my main priority, and this is a series I have a very high expectations of because I've seen it everywhere. I've had it recommended to me for so long, and it is another fantasy romance series. I do believe the first book isn't really romance, it's more so in the second book, but it is like a slow burn fantasy romance, and it just sounds incredible. And that is the Plated Prisoner series. So my hardcovers finally came. I'm so happy. I know most people got these like months ago, but I didn't, and I finally have them now. They are beautiful. Like, they have the yellow sprayed edge, and they are signed as well, which is incredible. And then all of them have like these spines like this. I'm not gonna lie, the other hardbacks I had a design on here because they were like the self-published ones, but they were like the ugly shiny like dust jackets. So yeah, I exchanged them for these signed ones, and I'm just so happy that I own these. So I have Guild by Raven Kennedy, which is the first book. I have Glint, which is the second book in the series. I have Gleam, which is the third book in the series. And then lastly, I have Glow, which is the fourth book in the series and is the biggest. I love how these books just get progressively bigger throughout each one. Like, it's quite funny. Yeah, I'm just so excited for this series. You guys have all probably heard people talk about this series so much. I'm very happy to have these, and yeah, I can't wait to read them. So please do let me know if you would like to see a vlog per book, or just like you guys are okay with a vlog for like all of them together. Let me know. But I will be reading these pretty soon. I really hope that I like them, and yeah, like I've just said like a million times, I'm just so incredibly happy that I finally have these ones in my hands. Okay, and then the last few things I got myself was some manga, so I'll quickly show these. So the first one I have, I think, is called Watakoi. I actually am not entirely sure how to pronounce this. But this is volume 1, and I randomly bought this recently. It just sounded really good. It says on the back, it gains over romance, and because I found out it was a romance manga, I was like, yes please. So it says on the back here that Narumi has had it rough. Every boyfriend she's had dumped her once they found out she was a otaku. Now, I'm not sure what an otaku is. I should probably Google it. But for the sake of this video, me being quick, we're going to go with it. So it says, she's gone to great lengths to hide it. When a chance meeting at her new job with childhood friend, fellow otaku and co-worker, her attacker almost gets her secret outed at work. She comes up with a plan to make sure he never speaks up. But he comes up with a counter proposal. Why doesn't she just date him instead? So yes, this just sounded so good. And I really liked the kind of way the art looked inside as well. Never heard anything about this before, but if you have read this, then please do let me know. I don't know if it was originally maybe like a webtoon or something. I know it was originally Japanese, but yeah, do let me know if you have read this and what your thoughts were. I just love romance manga, so I just had to pick this one up. Then next we have this manga here, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero's Journey, Ultimate Manga Edition. So this is a manga that follows Zero, which is Jack Skellington's dog. I bought this because I just thought it looked super cute and would be really nice to read around Christmas. So I am still hoping to read this before the month is over, maybe towards Christmas, on Christmas Eve or something. I'm super busy the entire week of Christmas. I am working every single day up until Christmas Day, so I don't know where I'll have time to read, but I'm hoping I can squeeze this one in. And I just thought it would be super lovely to read, and I recently saw Katie read this and she said it was a really fun little manga, and I do love The Nightmare Before Christmas, so I did treat myself to the manga, and I'm hoping that I will really enjoy it. Then the last manga I have is this big boy here. So this is the Infernal Devices, the complete trilogy by Cassandra Clare, all in one big manga volume. Look how freaking big this thing is. Like, it's huge. I have not finished reading this entire trilogy. I think I'm like halfway through the first one, and I need to continue reading it, but like, this is huge. But I thought the manga would be a fun way for me to read it, to be honest. Like, I just really want to read it, and I love manga, and I just thought this was a really cool little book. Pre-ordered this ages ago and it randomly arrived and I'd totally forgotten about it. But look how gorgeous the art is inside as well. It's so beautiful. So I'm very happy that I have this, and I do plan to read this soon as well. I think I'm going to read this before I read the actual books, which is probably kind of bad, but yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm glad that I have this, but it is so freaking big. This is probably the biggest manga I own. Like, I think this is bigger than my Death Note compendium. So this is, yeah, this is definitely the biggest manga that I own. So now we're going to move on to all of the books I received from Illumicrate and Fairyloot. So these are going to be like ones I've pre-ordered, ones I've received in book boxes and that sort of thing. So yeah, I do have a few to show you guys. So these two are both from Illumicrate. So this first one is one that I pre-ordered, which is a romance, and this is Olivia Dade's Shipwrecked. This is a match made off camera. And I love this cover as well. It's so cool. And I love on the back that it says, if she was built like a Valkyrie, like an opera singer in a horned helmet and molded a breastplate, belting out her final aria, he was the dark-haired, thick-thighed Viking, striding on stage, bent on plundering her, and she would gladly welcome her ravishments. Like, what is that? Yeah, this is signed, and it has the cutest little note by the author in, which I loved as well. And this just sounds incredible. So it says here, I think her name's Maria. Anyway, I think that's what it says. So it says, Maria's one-night stand, the thick-thighed, sexy Viking of a man she left without a word, just reappeared. Apparently he's her new co-star, and they're about to spend the next 6 years filming together on a desolate Irish island. She still wants him, but he now wants nothing to do with her. Okay, so my memory card just randomly stopped recording. I don't know how far through the synopsis I got. Basically, it's a second chance romance, and they're stuck on an island together. It's forced proximity. It sounds incredible. It sounds like it's gonna be funny. I'm very, very excited about this one. So next we have The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. I received this in my monthly Illumicrate box. This edition is so beautiful. It's gold and it's gorgeous. I love the back with the moon as well, and the sprayed edges are so beautiful. The end pages as well, like how gorgeous. And then underneath the dust jacket, it has this incredible design. This is one of Illumicrate's best works, like definitely. The back has wolves on and a quote here, I love wolves. And then this is the front as well. Like, how freaking cool is that? I'm just obsessed with this entire design of this book, inside and out. It's gorgeous. So this is set in like this really creepy, eerie town. I think there's like a creepy woods that's like really dangerous. It's like magic and like folklore vibes and monsters and romance, I think. It sounds really, really good, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. But I am excited to read this because it does sound like my cup of tea. I like anything with the spooky forest and anything that's kind of folkloric or like atmospheric, those kind of vibes. Like anything that gives me Shea Earnshaw vibes, and I feel like this sounds kind of similar to the Winterwood. So I'm very excited to give this one a read. Then next we have the Fairyloot books. So I've already spoken about this in a upcoming vlog. So I don't know if it'll be up before this video, but I'm not going to go into this too much. All I know is this is witchy, and I think it has some form of romance in, but I don't remember. And the dust jacket I've turned inside out because I prefer this design, so I can't even read the synopsis. But yeah, I received this in a monthly Fairyloot box, in their YA box, and this is The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. Look how gorgeous their dust jacket is. Like, I love this edition so much. It also has ombre sprayed edges, which I think is so cool. It has gorgeous, gorgeous end pages which match the dust jacket. Look how beautiful these are. And then the naked book underneath is like this, which is just beautiful. Like, look at that. So, so pretty. So yeah, I honestly cannot remember what this is about. I just know it's witchy, and it says on the back here, I am the monster, I am the shield, I am the knife in the dark. So it says that it's romantic, brutal and hopeful, apparently. Yeah, I really, really love the sound of this. I'm obsessed with this edition, and this entire box that I got this in was so freaking good. I loved every item in the box, and this book was just beautiful. So I'm very excited to read this. I feel like it's definitely my kind of thing. Anything that's described as witchy definitely is my kind of thing anyway. So yeah, this is a really, really gorgeous edition. Okay, so this next one, I'm not really going to go into what it's about. All I know about this, I think, is that it takes place after the These Found Delights duology, and I think it follows Juliet, the main character in that book's cousin, and she's like a spy, I think. That's kind of what I think this is about. This is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong, but this is the Fairyloot edition. So this is like a blue version. The original cover is pink. It has these sprayed edges as well, and then we have some character art under the dust jacket, and we also have this gorgeous like icy blue foiling underneath, which is so, so pretty. But it is signed inside as well, and it says here that it's set in 1931 in Shanghai. Yeah, I am very excited to read this once I finally do read these Violent Delights. I still have not read it, but I really, really want to. I've been meaning to read that series for so long now. I've had it since it came out, and I just need to finally read it. I feel like I will really, really love that series, and therefore really love this book as well. But I did pre-order the Fairyloot edition because it's so gorgeous, and I just feel like I'm gonna love these books, and again, like, I want to be able to have the special editions in case I do love it. So I did pre-order this one. I do prefer the pink one and the Waterstones edition with the pink design on the naked book. I do prefer that edition, but this one is still really, really pretty. Then this next one is by Holly Black, which is The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. This is the fairly exclusive edition, so it doesn't have a dust jacket, it just has a naked book, which is like this. It has this gorgeous red and black design, and on the back it says Death's Favourites Don't Die. I love that. And we have these blood splattered sprayed edges. How cool. Like, I'm obsessed with those. And it also has these really cool end pages as well, which I just love. Like, these end pages are gorgeous, very gothic, and I just love them. It's also signed by Holly Black, which is amazing. So yeah, very, very excited about this one. I have never read this book, but many people on BookTube love this. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm going to save this for next October, I think. Hopefully I can last long enough to not pick it up, but this edition is gorgeous. I totally forgot I pre-ordered this when it arrived, so it was a really, really nice surprise, and I just think this is a stunning book. Like, look how beautiful this is, the red and the black together. I love it. And then this next one I've also shown in a vlog, so again, I'm not going to really talk about because it's a sequel, and that is the fairly exclusive edition of The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I pre-ordered this one as well because I do own the fairly edition of Six Crimson Cranes, and this one has these purple sprayed edges. It is signed by the author, and under the dust jacket it does have this gorgeous design stenciled on, which I love, and it has this alternate dust jacket underneath, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, look how gorgeous that art is. Yeah, another series I do need to read, but I'm very happy that I have this to match my fairly edition of Six Crimson Cranes, and it's truly a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. So next we have this gorgeous fairly edition of A Diary of Blood by Esther Gibson. I got this in their adult monthly one. I was sent this as a rep for Fairy Loot, and this is one of my favourite books I now own. This is also one of my favourite books of the year. I finally read this during Vampathon and I just loved it. I thought I would like it, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I gave it 5 stars, and the writing was just incredible. It's a retelling of Dracula's Brides, and it focuses on abusive relationships, and the way it was written was just so incredible, so beautiful. I would highly recommend this book. There are lots of trigger warnings for it though, but it is an incredible book if you are able to read it. So this is the fairly exclusive edition. It's gorgeous. It has these beautiful intricate sprayed edges. It also has these gorgeous end pages. So here we have Dracula on this part, and then at the very, very end we also have some end pages of the 3 brides here, which is just gorgeous. I love these. And then the book itself has this like art design of one of their like places that they live. So yeah, I just really, really love this edition so much, and this was just such good timing because I'd literally just read this book and then I received this, so I was very, very happy when I received this book. Okay, so the last portion of this video is going to be books that I was very, very kindly gifted. So I was gifted some books from my patrons, and I am just so, so grateful. So I'd like to show you guys those, and then I have some books I've very kindly been sent by publishers as well, and I have 1 to unbox as well. So I'm going to start with the ones I was gifted by my patrons first. So I have talked about these in a vlog, and then some of them I unboxed in an unboxings video that's exclusive to Patreon, where I unboxed like loads of different things, from like books to like random bits, just a general big unboxing. So that's going to be on my Patreon, or I'm just going to quickly show you the books. So I have this wonderful stack here. So these 2 I was sent by the lovely Willow, and she sent me a Horror volume 4, and she also sent me the Travelling Cat Chronicles. And this is literally about this cat who goes on this kind of adventure with his like human companion, let's say, and it's a book that's about kind of like life, love. It says here that it's a book that shows how acts of love, both great and small, can transform our lives, and I just really love anything that's to do with cats. And I found that translated fiction, particularly Japanese fiction that has cats in, is usually like a really, really fun one. I loved She and Her Cat, one of my favourite books of the year. I recently read The Cat Who Saved Books as well, which I enjoyed, and I've read If Cats Disappeared from the World, and they're all books that are like really fun and lighthearted on the surface with the cat part, but they have so many deeper, intricate meanings to it as you're reading, which I really, really enjoy. And they quite often are just talking about life, and they're very abstract and just interesting. So I love those kind of stories, and I've been eyeing this one up for so long, so I cannot wait to read this one. And I also was very kindly bought volumes 1 to 3 of this by Jamie, and it's a series I've wanted to read for so long, so I'm so happy to have a volume 4 so I can go straight on to that one as well. So thank you so much, Willow, for these wonderful books. Then Colleen very kindly gifted me Love Like Farms by BK Borison. I cannot wait to read this. This one is kind of like a festive romance. We have this girl, I think, who owns a Christmas tree farm. I think she enters some kind of competition or something, and I think she says she has a boyfriend when she doesn't, and yeah, she needs to win this competition so she can win the prize money to save the Christmas farm that she has. And yeah, the problem is she doesn't actually have a boyfriend, so I think she like gets her like best friend to pretend to be her boyfriend, but then they kind of fall in love along the way as they're fake dating. So it's supposed to have like fake dating, and it's supposed to be friends to lovers. So yeah, this sounds like it's gonna be a really sweet romance. I hope it's very festive. I love the color of the cover, all of these colors together. It's such a pretty color palette, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I really do hope that I love it. So thank you so much, Colleen, for this gorgeous book. Then the very lovely Faye got me A Bride of the Winter King by Holly Rose. So this is supposed to be a really good for fans of like Elise Covert, so like the deal with the Elf King. I really love that book. I read it in like less than 24 hours. It was a really fun, fast read, and this is supposed to have a similar vibes, so I can't wait to read this one. So on the back it says, he stole her sister, now she'll end his frozen reign. So I love the sound of that. It's giving kind of like Cruel Prince vibes as well, and like these hollow vows. So I can't wait to read this. It's fantasy romance. Look how stunning the cover is as well. So yes, thank you so much, Faye, for that lovely book. And then lastly, we have A History of Wild Places by Shea Earnshaw, which the lovely Catherine got me. So thank you, Catherine. This one has been on my wish list for a very long time. It's so hard to get in the UK. It's constantly in and out of stock, and I've wanted it for a while now. I love Shea Earnshaw's writing. She's one of my Insta Buy authors, one of my favorite authors. I just think her writing style suits me so well. It's very descriptive and lyrical, very atmospheric. It usually has very kind of like creepy and kind of, I would say, mythic and folkloric kind of undertones, which is another thing I really like in her books. And her books are quite often kind of folklore or magic mixed with real life, and I just love them. Like, they're so good. Her writing is just gorgeous, and I've wanted this for so long. So thank you so much, Catherine, for gifting me this book. I cannot wait to read it. It's the only Shea Earnshaw book I've left to read, and I can't wait to get to it. I feel like I'm gonna really love this, and yeah, this cover as well is so freaking beautiful. So those are all the books I was very kindly gifted by my wonderful patrons. I'm incredibly grateful because they're all such beautiful books. I can't wait to read. So thank you so much. If you did send me something, it means so much to me, and I just can't believe that anyone would want to gift me something. So yes, they were very lovely to receive, and the notes were lovely as well. I've stuck all the notes in the books, and I love that. There's nothing better than opening a book and seeing a gift note in there. Like, it's just so nice to read, and it always puts a smile on my face. So yes, thank you. But now we're going to move on to all the books I was sent by publishers. So we do have a few to go through, and some of these are already out, and yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about all of them. So I'm going to go through them quite quickly because I don't want this video to be too long. So the first thing I have is this parcel here. So this one, I think, is a copy of Gothinka, I think is what it's called. So yeah, I was very kindly sent this by the publisher, and it has some goodies with it. So the first thing we have is this really cool letter. It made me feel like Wednesday Addams, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I did receive this, which is amazing. I really want to frame this and put this on my wall. I just think it is really cool. I love it. So I did get that with it, and then it also came with a quill and notebook. Like, how cool is this? Like, look at this. We have a black feather quill, and then it came with this like Gothinka inspired notebook. So it has like a crest on, and then it's just a lined notebook, which I just thought was really cool. And then lastly, we have a proof of a Gothinka by, I think it's Runix is how you say it. So this is a limited special edition proof. So this comes out in March 2023. So yes, this book is already out in the self-published format, but it has been picked up to be printed by Solaris Books, which is an imprint of a publishing house. I just can't remember which one. Okay, so Solaris is an imprint of Rebellion Publishing Ltd. So yeah, they have picked it up and are going to be publishing it in the UK, I believe, from March 2023. So this is what the finished cover will look like on the back here. So I've never read this before. It did also come with this little postcard too, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to give a list of trigger warnings that are on here in a moment. So if you don't want to hear any of them, then skip ahead a little bit because you're going to hear them. So it says here, before you venture into Varenmore and the world of Gothinka, I would like to give you a heads up about certain things mentioned in the book. This book contains explicit sexual content recommended only for 18+, mentions and contains scenes of suicide, murder and death, and mentions of mental illnesses and neglectful parenting, mentions of sexual assault, and mentions of human sacrifice. There is also a mysterious morally grey hero who will frustrate you to no end because his point of view is sparse, and my intent is for you to feel the same as the protagonist does toward him, confused, frustrated, suspicious and lustful. Gothinka is vastly different from anything I've written so far, but it's also the story closest to my heart. Varenmore is incredibly special to me, with characters, incidents, locations, all inspired by some true events from my own life. If you decide to read and take this journey with me, I hope you will enjoy it. So yes, this sounds so good. It's a dark academia and romance, that's all I know. I'm hoping to read this soon because I have seen it on like a book talk, so I would like to know what the hype's about, and I just love all the stuff that it came with. So thank you so much, Casey at Solaris, for very, very kindly gifting me a copy of this book and the goodies that came with it. I can't wait to read it. So yeah, this does come out in the UK next March, so you can go and pre-order it already if you want to. I will have it linked down below. This next book I have already mentioned in a vlog, so I'm not going to go into it. I was sent this unsolicited and it was a nice surprise. I believe this is a fantasy. It's called Wistress and it is by Nadine Brandis, and it has this gorgeous cover. I believe this is about a girl who can turn her tears into wishes, but she's also cursed, and I think the next like wish she grants and tears that fall will kill her, I think, or something. And there's like some kind of king or prince trying to get her to do like his dirty work and stuff, and she's like on the run, and she meets someone on the run, and yeah, he's trying to use her, she's trying to use him, and he's like trying to hunt her down. And I think there's some kind of romance going on there or something. I don't know, it sounds really good. But yes, we do have this book. So these next two I was sent by Canongate, so I'm not going to really go into what they're about because it's very self-explanatory. But I have Poetry Unbound, 50 poems to open your world, and then I also have The Keys to Kindness as well. So yeah, these are both gorgeous little hardbacks, and I was just very kindly sent them. So thank you so much, Canongate, for this book mail. And yeah, it's a little bit different to what I usually read, but hopefully I will be pleasantly surprised when I do decide to read both of these. So yes, thank you so much to Canongate for sending me these books. Okay guys, so my camera did die, so that was fun. I had to wait for my other battery to charge a little bit, and it's currently dark outside, so I'm sorry if the lighting has changed. I'm absolutely freezing, so I want to quickly finish filming the rest of this video. So we're going to go through the remaining books quite quickly because I really want to drink my cup of tea and warm myself up because I'm so cold right now. But the next book I have, that was very kindly sent by a publisher, is A Proof of Atalanta by Jennifer Saint. So Jennifer Saint is the author who wrote Ariadne. So it says here, spurned by a king, raised by birds, blessed by a goddess, the only female Argonaut. So yes, this is another kind of Greek mythology, a retelling from Jennifer Saint. Very, very excited about this, and this proof is gorgeous. I did not know I was getting this. So the back looks like this, and it's one of those ones that opens, which is amazing. So it says, behind all gods and heroes there are women, which I love. So yeah, when you open it, it's in like its own little slip case, and then the proof looks like this. How freaking cool is that it comes in like a slipcase? So this book comes out on the 13th of April next year. So this is what the cover will look like. How beautiful. I swear Jennifer Saint has some of the prettiest book covers I've ever seen in my life. So this is the proof here, which I was very, very lucky to receive. So yeah, this is a Greek mythology, a retelling again, and I am very, very excited for it. I need to finish reading Ariadne. I did start it a few months back and didn't finish it. Not for any reason, like in particular, not that it was bad or anything. I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time, but I was really enjoying the writing style. So I'm really excited for this one, and this cover is beautiful. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this like slipcase for the proof as well. So thank you so much to the publisher for sending me this book, and you can pre-order copies on Waterstones. I think there's signed copies. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But there might be signed copies on Waterstones if you wanted to get one. So these next three, I'm not going to go into what they're about, but I was very kindly sent these by Chicken House. So they sent me this lovely Christmas package as a thank you. And yeah, they sent me these gorgeous books. So we have Game Over Girl, and this is by Naomi Gibson. So this is a dark psychological thriller, and it is YA. We also have Wild Oak by CC Harrington, and this has the cutest cover I've ever seen. And then we have an Enchanting Sisterhood Adventure, which is The Way Past Winter by Kira Millward Hargrave. And I kind of really want to read this actually this winter, because I just feel like it would be a really nice book to pick up. I love this cover, and something that is obviously winter themed would be really nice to read, and I'm definitely in the mood for that, especially with all the cold weather we've been having. And I've read a couple of things by Kira Millward Hargrave and really enjoyed them, so I would like to pick this one up. But yes, they very kind of gifted me these 3 books. Then I was sent a copy of this book by the publisher, which is The American Remake Experiment by Elena R. Maas. So this is by the same author who wrote The Spanish Love Deception. I did read that book a few months ago in this summer, and I did actually really enjoy it. I was pleasantly surprised with that book. I thought I would like it, but I didn't think I would love it. I loved it. I got really into that book. I totally get the hype. I really enjoyed it. It was very perfect for me. I really love things like The Hating Game. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for those kind of romances, and I feel like The Spanish Love Deception did give me the same vibes that that book did, and I'm hoping that this one does as well. I do have high expectations for this book after enjoying The Spanish Love Deception so much. I do agree that parts of The Spanish Love Deception were maybe a bit slow, a little bit drawn out for a romance, but I feel like it's very typical of romances to have that kind of third act conflict, which is very drawn out and annoying, and I am expecting that in this book. It's kind of in every romance book. This one I don't think is as long as The Spanish Love Deception, but yeah, I hope this is just as good as that one. And yeah, this is another romance, and I think it's set in New York as well. So yes, thank you so much to the publisher for sending me this book. I will definitely be picking this up very soon, and I really do hope that this one gives me 5-star vibes. Okay, so this next one is a like little wintry festive one I was sent, and this is a proof. This book is already out though. It's a middle grade, and it's called The Miraculous Sweetmakers, and this is by Natasha Hastings. And on the front it says, "You are cordially invited to the Frost Fair," which sounds incredible. So yeah, this is a book I think about friendship and magic, I believe. I love the finished cover for this book as well. It's so beautiful. But yeah, all I know about this is that it's a middle grade, so I was very kindly sent this, and hopefully it is really fun. I need to get back into my middle grade again. I haven't read much middle grade recently, so I do plan to make that one of my reading goals for next year, to read some more. And I have a few that are still unread on my shelf currently, so I will be hopefully getting to this one next year. I'm finishing up reading all of the middle grades I do currently own, so I will definitely be picking this one up, and I'm excited about it. So next we have one of my most anticipated releases for next year, which is Tessa Bailey's Secretly Yours. So this is of course a romance. I have a very complicated relationship with Tessa Bailey. Her self-published books, not for me. I think they're trash. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it is, but every single one of those I've read I just don't like. Whereas her traditionally published books I actually enjoy. So It Happened One Summer, Hook, Line and Sinker, Fixer Up was okay. But yeah, this one I do have high hopes for. Very high hopes, and I'm hoping that I do like this. So this book comes out in February next year, and I'm expecting a lot of smut and steaminess from this book. Yes, that's what I'm expecting. It says here that it's a steamy rom-com about a starchy professor and the bubbly neighbour he clashes with at every turn. Does that not sound incredible? I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I feel like I'm gonna love this, and I can't wait. Yeah, I think this is gonna be on my January TBR, because I can read Tessa Bailey's books very fast, and I feel like this will just be a really nice fun romance to start the new year off with, and I want to read it before it comes out, and I am predicting probably 4 stars for this one. That's my prediction at the moment, but we shall see. So next we have Scarlett St. Clair's Queen of Myth and Monsters. I was very kindly sent a proof of this. This comes out on the 20th of this month, which is actually the day I'm filming this video. So this book is out now. I am obsessed with this cover. I think this is my favourite Scarlett St. Clair cover of all of her books. So I have read A Touch of Darkness and King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair, and this is actually the follow-up to King of Battle and Blood, which I didn't actually realise at first, which is really dumb on my part. But now I'm even more excited to read this, because I really enjoyed King of Battle and Blood. It is basically a kind of enemies to lovers romance with vampires, and it's just a really fun time. I'm not gonna lie, it's mostly porn. Like, that book has a lot of smut in it. One of the smuttiest and spiciest books I've ever read, and it got to the point where, like, I'm not gonna lie, it was too much for me. Like, I was like, listen Scarlett, give me more plots and less smut, which isn't something I would say often, but yes, this book had a lot of smut. So I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of smut in this one. I'm also expecting we're going to have a lot more of the plot though in this one, because I feel like shit's hit the fan really bad, because shit went down between the main character and their father in the last book. So yeah, we'll see what happens in this one, but I feel like I might need a little bit of a refresher on King of Battle and Blood, because I think I read that at the very end of last year or the beginning of this year. It was a long time ago. Whenever it first came out was when I read it. So yeah, I think I might need to do a refresher, maybe listen to like an audiobook for King of Battle and Blood and then pick this one up. But honestly, this cover, I am just like, it is so incredibly beautiful, like so beautiful. I'm so happy that they sent me this. I can't wait to read this and continue on with their story, and I just hope this doesn't let me down, and maybe they take it down a notch on the smut and a little bit more on the plot. But I did still really enjoy the first book. But yeah, very excited to read this one. So this next one is such a beautiful book, and I'm so happy that I was sent this. So this is by Ellison Shaw, and I was sent this by the publisher, and it's called Ashes and Stones, and it says A Scottish Journey in Search of Witches and Witness. And you guys know I love anything to do with witches. Like, I'm just so incredibly intrigued by like the history of witches and just any kind of history. I just love it so much, and I love it in my fantasy as well. And I always want to read more about like witches, more so in the UK, like the history tied to like British witches. And also like I want to know more generally about Scottish history and mythology and folklore and stuff, because my mum is Scottish and therefore half of my family are Scottish, and I just find that aspect of like, I don't think heritage is the right word, or culture, but like, because that's a huge part of my life in a sense, I would like to know more about the lore, myths and legends of Scotland and the history, especially relating to like the occult and witchcraft. So this book sounds perfect for me. And it says here that it's a moving and personal journey along rugged coasts and through remote villages and cities in search of the traces of those accused of witchcraft in 17th century Scotland. And it says here that in Ashes and Stones we visit modern memorials and standing stones and roam among forests and hedge mazes, folklore and political fantasies. From fairy hills to forgotten caves we explore a spellbound landscape. I cannot wait to read this. This is the book I think I've been waiting for, like when it comes to this stuff. And I definitely think my mum would really want to read some of this as well, because obviously she is very into like all of this kind of stuff, in the sense of like she loves like fantasy kind of shows and movies and books that have like witches and stuff in, and I just think she would really like some of this stuff as well. So I'm excited to read this and tell my mum some of the things I learned from this book. And honestly, like, this is just exactly what I've been looking for a long time when it comes to witchcraft, more so specifically in Scotland. I think the best book I've read to do with witchcraft in Scotland has to be Hex by Jenny Fagan. That is still one of my favourite books ever, and still such an incredible book. And I would highly recommend that if you do want to learn more about witchcraft and maybe things that took place regarding witchcraft in Scotland particularly, but you don't want to read a non-fiction, then definitely pick up Hex by Jenny Fagan. But yeah, this one I am incredibly excited to read. I'm definitely putting this on my TBR for next year. I honestly am so excited for this book, and I love the cover. It's absolutely stunning. I love the thistles. I think thistles are the national flower of Scotland. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a thistle. But yeah, I love this cover as well. So thank you so much to the publisher for sending me this book, and I cannot wait to read it. Okay, so the last book in this haul is this arc here, which I was very kindly sent, and it comes out in March, and that is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witton. So I have kind of read one of Hannah Witton's books before. If you've been a subscriber of mine for a couple of years now, you will know the big saga with For the Wolf. I'm still reading that book. For 2 years I have been reading that book. I started it when I got an arc of it, whenever that was. It was maybe 2021? The start of 2021, I think. And I was liking it, and then it got a bit slow and very repetitive. So then I was like reading a few pages every week. And I was doing that for a few months, and then I didn't read it for a long time. And then I tried to pick it back up again, sometime this year. I had a few people even comment laughing about it, and then I put it down again. And I still haven't finished it, but I want to finish it, and I can still remember what happened in it, weirdly enough, but I just never finished it. It's kind of like a wintry fantasy with a bit of romance in it. It has plant magic, like magic related to nature, but it was just very repetitive. So yeah, I did like the writing though, and so my expectations for this one are somewhere in the middle, because I feel like with this now being like this author's next novel, it will hopefully be better, and I feel like the premise of this sounds more interesting to me because it's to do with death as well. So you guys, I don't know why, but you guys know I like anything to do with death. I just do. Not in like a weird way, like just if it's like a fantasy and there's like a goddess of death or something, I love shit like that. So anything with death in, like a personification of death, I just find it interesting and I like to read about it, and I believe that's kind of in here. So yes, anyways, this is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. It comes out next year, and I'm hoping I will like this more than For the Wolf. On the back of it, it says death holds the city and she holds death, which just sounds really cool. So it says here that this is the first installment of a sweeping fantasy epic following a magical poison runner's tumultuous path from the city catacombs to the glittering opulence of the sainted king's court. So on this review it says, it felt like this book should only be read in the middle of the night, making the betrayals, the twisted web of religion and court politics, and the delicious slow burn of romance slowly seep into your skin like a poison, all the more addicting. Yeah, this definitely sounds more interesting than For the Wolf. I can't wait to read this, and I'm so happy that there's romance as well. And I just hope the romance is better in this book. I think it was the romance that I had the issue with in For the Wolf. It just felt like it was stuck in the same place and wasn't really moving forward for a while, which is why I got bored. So I'm hoping the romance is more well paced in this one. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I'm obsessed with this cover as well, and this one sounds a lot more gothic, which I'm definitely more into. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one. It does come out in March, and you guys can go and check that out and pre-order if you want to. But yes, that is my end of year book haul, the last book haul of the year. Yes, we're finally at that point. I can't believe it. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this book haul and have found some interesting and new books through it. If you have read any of the books I have mentioned, please do let me know in the comments what you rated them, what your thoughts were, if you do think I would like them as well, and let's just chat about them in the comments. If you are planning to pick up any of the books I have mentioned, also let me know which ones interested you the most, and let's just have a little conversation in the comments about what books you've recently hauled. If you have any book recommendations, please do leave them in the comments. I love getting recommended new books, and it would be nice to find some more fantasy romance, especially maybe some that aren't as well known. So yes, please do let me know in the comments what you have recently been enjoying, what you've recently hauled, or any of the books I've shown that you have read. Let's chat. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a red heart or black heart emoji in the comments, and please do give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I really do appreciate it, and let me know in the comments if you do want to see any of the vlogs that I mentioned I was planning to do. I of course will be doing many hauls in the new year, and I am planning to do a potential Christmas book haul because I will be getting a few books for Christmas, but I'm not sure if it'll be maybe enough for a haul. We'll see. So maybe there'll be a Christmas book haul coming soon. I will be filming a vlog on Christmas Day, which will be exclusive for my Patreon. And if I don't end up uploading the Christmas book haul on YouTube, it will be up on my Patreon. But my big unboxing with some other bookish mail and things will be on my Patreon as well. So you can head there. It will be in my description box if you want to check that out. You will also find a monthly buddy read there, an exclusive reading vlog for that buddy read, a monthly readathon. We also do reading sprints. We have a Discord where we all chat and things as well. I upload photos there, exclusive videos, and so many other things. So if you would like to join me there, then you can check out my Patreon. But I do appreciate every single one of you who decided to stick around to the end of this video and for just clicking on this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. And if you aren't already subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing for more bookish videos. I have so many exciting plans for 2023 when it comes to this channel, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of good books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.